Aretha Louise Franklin was born March 25, 1942, in Memphis, Tennessee, is an American singer, songwriter and musician. Her father, who went by the nickname C.L., was an itinerant preacher originally from Shelby, Mississippi, while her mother was an accomplished piano player and vocalist. Just after her mother's death, Franklin began singing solos at New Bethel, debuting with the hymn, Jesus, Be a Fence Around Me. 4 years later, when Franklin was 14, her father began managing her, bringing her on the road with him during his so-called gospel caravan tours for her to perform in various churches. After turning 18, Franklin confided to her father that she aspired to follow Sam Cooke to record pop music. Serving as her manager, C.L. agreed to the move and helped to produce a 2-song demo that soon was brought to the attention of Columbia Records, who agreed to sign her in 1960. In January 1961, Columbia issued Franklin's first secular album, Aretha, with the Ray Bryant combo. The album featured her first single to chart the Billboard Hot 100, Won't Be Long, which also peaked at number 7 on the R&B chart. By the end of 1961, Franklin was named as a New Star Female Vocalist in Downbeat magazine. In 1962, Columbia issued 2 more albums, The Electrifying Aretha Franklin and The Tender, The Moving, The Swinging Aretha Franklin, the latter of which charted number 69 on the Billboard Pop LPS chart. By 1964, Franklin began recording more pop music, reaching the top 10 on the R&B chart with the ballad Running Out of Fools in early 1965. She had 2 R&B charted singles in 1965 and 1966 with the songs One Step Ahead and Cry Like a Baby, while also reaching the easy listening charts with the ballads You Made Me Love You and No, No, I'm Losing You. In January 1967, choosing not to renew her Columbia contract after 6 years with the company, Franklin signed to Atlantic Records. That month, she traveled to Muscle Shoals, Alabama to record at Fame Studios to record the song I Never Loved a Man, The Way I Love You. The song was later issued that February and shot up to number 1 on the R&B chart, while also peaking at number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100, giving Franklin her first top 10 pop single. On February 16, 1968, Franklin was honored with a day in her honor and was greeted by longtime friend Martin Luther King, Jr., who gave her the SCLC Drumbeat Award for Musicians just 2 months before his death. Franklin's success expanded during the early 1970s, in which she recorded top 10 singles such as Spanish Harlem, Rocksteady, and Daydreaming, as well as the acclaimed albums Spirit in the Dark, Young, Gifted and Black, and her gospel album, Amazing Grace, which sold over 2 million copies. In 1971, Franklin became the first R&B performer to headline Fillmore West, later recording the live album, Aretha Live at Fillmore West. Franklin's career began experiencing issues while recording the album, Hey No Hey, The Other Side of the Sky, which featured production from Quincy Jones. Despite the success of the single, Angel, the album bombed upon its release in 1973. Franklin continued having R&B success with songs such as Until You Come Back to Me and I Am in Love, but by 1975, her albums and songs were failing to become a success, after Jerry Wexler left Atlantic for Warner Bros. Records. In 1976, Franklin worked on the soundtrack to the film Sparkle with Curtis Mayfield. The album yielded Franklin's final top 40 hit of the decade, Something He Can Feel, which also peaked at number 1 on the R&B chart. Franklin's follow-up albums for Atlantic, including Sweet Passion, Almighty Fire and La Diva, bombed on the charts, and in 1979, Franklin opted to leave the company. In 1980, after leaving Atlantic Records, Franklin signed with Clive Davis Arista Records, and that same year gave a command performance at the Royal Albert Hall in front of Queen Elizabeth. Franklin also made an acclaimed guest role as a waitress in the comedy musical, The Blues Brothers. In 1985, inspired by her desire to have a younger self in her music, her 5th Arista album, Who's Zoomin' Who, became her first album to be certified platinum, after selling well over 1 million copies, thanks to the hits Freeway of Love, the title track, and Sisters Are Doing It For Themselves. In 1998, Franklin returned to the top 40 with the Lauryn Hill-produced song A Rose Is Still a Rose, later issuing the album of the same name, which went gold. That same year, Franklin earned international acclaim for her performance of Miss Andorma at the Grammy Awards. Her final Aretha album, So Damn Happy, was released in 2003 and featured the Grammy-winning song Wonderful. In 2004, Franklin announced that she was leaving Aretha after over 20 years with the label. To complete her Aretha obligations, Franklin issued the duets compilation album, Jewels in the Crown. All-Star Duets with the Queen, in 2007. In October 2014, Franklin became the first woman to have 100 songs on Billboard's Hot R&B/Hip Hop Songs chart with the success of her cover of Adele's Rolling in the Deep, which debuted at number 47 on the chart. In December 2015, Franklin gave an acclaimed performance of You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman at the 2015 Kennedy Center Honors during the section for honoree Carole King, who Colorado wrote the song. During the bridge of the song, Ms. Franklin dropped her fur coat to the stage, for which the audience rewarded her with a mid-performance standing ovation. Franklin has married twice. She married Ted White in 1961, despite objections from her father. After a contentious marriage that involved domestic violence, she divorced White in 1969. She then married her second husband, actor Glynn Turman, on April 11, 1978 at her father's church. By marrying Turman, Franklin became stepmother of Turman's 3 children from a previous marriage. Franklin and Turman separated in 1982 after Franklin returned to Michigan from California, and they divorced in 1984. At one point, Franklin had plans to walk down the aisle with longtime companion Willie Wilkerson. Franklin and Wilkerson had had 2 previous engagements stretching back to 1988. Franklin eventually called the 2012 engagement off. Franklin is a registered Democrat. In 2014, she was granted the honorary degree of Doctor of Arts from Harvard University for her contributions to music. Franklin received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1979, had her voice declared a Michigan Natural Resource in 1985, and became the first woman inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987. NARAS awarded her a Grammy Legend Award in 1991, then the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 1994. Franklin was a Kennedy Center honoree in 1994, recipient of the National Medal of Arts in 1999, and was bestowed the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2005. Franklin became the second woman inducted to the UK Music Hall of Fame in 2005. She was the 2008 Music Airs Person of the Year, performing at the Grammys days later. Following news of Franklin's surgery and recovery in February 2011, the Grammys ceremony paid tribute to the singer with a medley of her classics performed by Christina Aguilera, Florence Welch, Jennifer Hudson, Martina McBride, and Yolanda Adams. That same year she was ranked among the Billboard Hot 100 all-time top artists and ranked first on the Rolling Stone list of greatest singers of all time. Inducted to the GMA Gospel Music Hall of Fame in 2012, Franklin has been described as the voice of the civil rights movement, the voice of Black America, and a symbol of Black equality. Asteroid 249516 Aretha was named in her honor in 2014. American history wells up when Aretha sings. President Obama explained his emotional response to her performance of A Natural Woman at the 2015 Kennedy Center Honors. Nobody embodies more fully the connection between the African American spiritual, the blues, R&B, rock and roll, the way that hardship and sorrow were transformed into something full of beauty and vitality and hope.